Hello everyone and welcome to another Minecraft update video. This is Snapshot 22W19A and I have news about the Birch Forests, the Fireflies and a few other things too. We're going to get to that later on in this video. Today's snapshot is a smaller one with technical features, bug fixes and a few gameplay changes, so let's get right into it. So in the last snapshot we saw some changes to how chat works. I'm currently on a multiplayer server to show you that there is now a chat preview feature. As you can see down here it says type to preview. So let's start typing hello world, and as you can see we've got some rainbow text. So when I go ahead and press enter it will be the same as the preview showed us it is. So why rainbow, you may be wondering? Well, if you saw the previous snapshot video, you'll know that servers are now going to be able to format the text that players communicate with one another in. And for this snapshot, they've left in a test rainbow chat inside of server.properties that you can enable to see this rainbow chat. And that's why on this server we have the rainbow text. One thing I wanted to point out that I thought was really cool is the more text you type, the more the gradient spreads out and looks really smooth. And then if you start to remove some of the text, you lose that. This will also support emojis as well, so you can add in a bunch of hearts or some smiley faces. These can go into the chat too. Although the smiley faces don't seem to work here, although I do approve of the rainbow hearts. Now these changes come with a couple of warnings too, so when you log into a server you will see this screen. You can click proceed or you can tick the box and click proceed and you won't see the message again. You might also see this toast pop up going into the top right hand corner of the screen telling you that the chat preview feature is enabled. And inside of options, if you go into chat settings and down to the bottom there are two new boxes here. And so you can choose to turn off the chat preview so you won't see it like we did a moment ago in chat, even though the server supports it. And down here you can opt out of the server modifying these messages. So if I turn this on, it will only show signed chat. So now let's get to the commands. We have the locate biome and locate structure commands, but they are now wrapped into a single locate command along with a new one right here, which is POI. That's points of interest, and as you can see there's a whole bunch of different ones here. So for example, we've got a librarian villager and it will have a point of interest which is the lectern block. So I can locate its point of interest using this command, and then when I click here it'll teleport me over to the lectern that it is interested in. So yes, a bit of a technical one, but very helpful for diagnosing issues in the world when you're trying to suss out what entities are interacting with what locations inside of the world. There are also 3 new tag lists, all related to the point of interest, that allow you to search for the nearest of multiple types of tag lists, and also the unemployed and nitwit point of interest types have been removed. And also here on the website you'll see place template. So the recently added place command now has a subtype known as template, and all the details of using this command are here on the website. You can find it listed in the description box below. And this command is essentially the equivalent of going into the game, loading up a structure with a structure block, then powering it with a redstone block to load that structure. So now you can do that simply through a command. So now let's get to the Warden, which seems to undergo quite a few changes in every snapshot, and this one has a few. This change though applies to both the Warden and the Iron Golem. The requirement is that it needs to spawn on something solid, so open trapdoors is probably not considered a solid block. And because I'm, doing this in creative mode, you can see the Warden and the Iron Golem spawn here, but one of the conditions would probably be this can't happen naturally. And this is probably just another measure that stops players from cheesing and farming the Warden. Oh, and another change, when the Warden uses its sonic boom attack on passive mobs, they tended to just stand around, as you would have seen in some of our previous snapshot videos, and now they will actually flee from the Warden. Also, the Blaze has its own projectile attack. If it were trying to attack the player and that projectile would hit the Warden wouldn't actually retaliate, although it's going to hear the blaze moving and go after it anyway. It's what I've learned by summoning some in here. So other mobs in this game can spawn on snow layers, and if a Warden gets summoned into the world it will now be able to summon in on snow layers. And the act of using your shield to block could set off a skulk sensor or the Warden. That's been changed, so when you do this you're not going to activate that. Also, I totally forgot that blocking with a shield slowed down your sneak speed. And according to the patch notes, the Warden can now use its sonic boom attack on the Ender Dragon and actually damage it as well, although the damage seems to be pretty minimal. Yeah, we should probably knock these things out first, right? And then see how much damage it does. Oh, that's more like it. Go, Warden, go! Maybe a new way to take out the Ender Dragon right here. And there were a whole bunch of other changes to the Warden too, but I felt like those ones were the most relevant to know about. Other bug fixes worth knowing about: frogs supposedly get caught underneath lily pads quite frequently, and it seems like now they'll be able to pathfind out from under them. Also, your frog spawn when turning into tadpoles could quite frequently summon those tadpoles inside of solid blocks nearby, which would cause them to die. And there isn't a mineshaft nearby this ancient city, but it was possible for mineshafts to actually cut through ancient cities in world generation, which it'll no longer do. And so now we move on to the Minecraft news. And in the week here on YouTube, we had two videos from the Minecraft channel: Ask Mojang what happened to the Fireflies in 1.19 and the secrets of Minecraft villagers. And both of these videos will be linked down below, but first of all, let's address the Ask Mojang video where they answered these questions. And so at Minecraft Live 2001, we got to see a preview of the Fireflies, and it turns out that for some frogs, certain types of fireflies are poisonous, and the Mojang team decided that wasn't something they wanted to introduce into the game. So for that reason, the fireflies won't make it to the wild update. Also at the same Minecraft Live event, the Birch Forest was talked about. Concept art was shared with us. However, Mojang have said they don't consider sharing concept art a commitment to adding a feature to the game. And they also commented that they haven't continued work on the Birch Forest, so it kinda looks like this, unfortunately, isn't ever going to happen. Now, some of you are probably still wondering about the bundle and if it's going to be in 1.19, and apparently because they've run into issues on Pocket Edition where you can't hover over to preview what's inside of it, they're currently still trying to figure that one out, and so it won't be in this update. And the good news is the goat horn is going to be in the update, so this went from being an experimental feature over on Bedrock, then included over here on Java Edition. It tends to be when things are on Java Edition snapshots, they tend to stay, so the goat horn is here to stay. And lastly, there was that Secrets of Minecraft Villagers, and in that they shared some concept art for how the Wandering Trader was originally going to look, and obviously that's what you're seeing on your screen right now. And now we turn over to Bedrock Edition, where there are still betas and previews coming out weekly, but there has been an experimental feature that won't be part of 1.19, but I can't believe it's finally in the game. It's taken so long to get here. And that is Spectator mode. So, when you're creating a world in experiments, there's a new category for this that needs to be enabled, and there it is, Spectator. Oh, did it work? Ah, I think it did. Yeah, look at that. We now have Spectator on Bedrock, and I cannot tell you how useful this is, especially when we're going to get more betas and previews in the future. This is really going to help us uncover the secrets of the world. And so, my friends, that's it from me, this snapshot video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. Thanks as always, and I'll see you next week with another one. Bye-bye.